will do. We talk about it, the most improved team we've seen this year. It's Texas A&M. And I think the key to that whole thing is a young quarterback by the name of Kevin Murray. This team has confidence in their quarterback. They know they can run the football, but they also found out in the last 4 or 5 weeks they can throw the ball.
And I put in a book plug here, because I've just finished more than 1,000 pages of it. I finished it. James Michener wrote a book about Texas, and it goes all the way back to the Spaniards coming into Mexico and conquering Mexico. And at the end of the book, James Michener devotes one whole chapter to football in Texas. It is a big thing. Everything rides on it. No matter what they tell you, you won't believe how strong it really is. Well, let us talk now about listen to what's going on behind us here live. We'll come back with the game in a moment, but now let's find more about this rivalry between the Aggies and the Longhorns with Ron Thulen. Listen.
For the first time since 1943, the Texas A&M game will determine the Southwest Conference champion and who will go to the Cotton Bowl on January 1st. The showdown came by virtue of an A&M victory on the road against TCU and a home win by Texas over Baylor. Despite a classic Thanksgiving matchup, there is one drawback. The two must play with only 5 days rest. Jackie Sherrill feels that gives the edge to Texas.
It's a very difficult thing because we've had, 3 games in 12 days, and, that takes its toll, but it takes its toll on both groups, but it's a big concern. It's a bigger concern for us because we got to get on the buses now and drive all the way back. So you'd have to give Texas an edge because, they came off an emotional game with Baylor. They beat Baylor. That will carry them over for 4 or 5 days. We don't have the same emotional lift.
This is going to be critical. The bruises are going to have to heal quickly. Of course, playing for a championship usually will cause those things to heal quickly, too. But staying off our feet and getting as much rest as we can is going to be very important to us.
The expectation factor, we were expected to beat TCU. Texas didn't know, and so that's why I'm saying the emotional factor certainly gives the edge to Texas at this time.
Both coaches have something to prove Thursday. For Jackie Sherrill, it is that he can take the Aggies to the Cotton Bowl, something they have not done since 1967. For Fred Akers, he has the opportunity to put aside rumors of being asked to step down as head coach and prove a preseason poll that picked the Longhorns 5th in the conference wrong. In Dallas, Ron Thulen for ESPN.
I know you folks in Texas love your football. When are you going to learn? Parity in college football, no one can win them all anymore. Get off Fred Akers' back.
They've already proved that they're wrong by picking them 5th, win or lose tonight. Although it is a holiday today, various schools
for the conference championship and a game in this stadium on New Year's Day against Auburn. Exciting moments for coaches Jackie Sherrill and Fred Akers. Texas last week knocked Baylor out of the Cotton Bowl, helped by the best performance of the year by huge tailback Edwin Simmons. And the Longhorns defense rose up and stopped Baylor late in the game, averting a tie and a possible Baylor win and trip to the Cotton Bowl. Afterwards, Fred Akers' team knew a win tonight over the Aggies means Cotton Bowl. But the Aggies are loaded offensively and defensively. Number 1 in the Southwest Conference on offense, number 1 in the Southwest Conference on defense. But place kicker Eric Franklin has been erratic, yet his 48-yarder against SMU won the game and kept Texas A&M in the conference race. And it'll all be decided tonight, partly as a result of this kick. Against Arkansas, quarterback Kevin Murray showed his poise and talent as the Aggies posted their 2nd Southwest Conference upset in as many weeks. And Arkansas learned why the Aggies are the conference's best team on defense. Jackie Sherrill's young team is in the race, which will be decided tonight. Who will join the 1986 Cotton Club? Who will go to the Cotton Bowl? CFA football. Happy Thanksgiving edition from Kyle Field, College Station, Texas. The Longhorns and the Aggies. Make no mistake about it, the Cotton Bowl is at stake. The loser will go to the Bluebonnet Bowl. But this crowd is here not for the Cotton Bowl. This was sold out a long time ago because whenever the Aggies and the Longhorns mix it up, it is a cause for a big crowd and high emotion. More than 4,000 more than capacity are scheduled to be in Kyle Field tonight. And why not? Added the conference leaders, Texas A&M 6-1. Texas 6-1. Baylor knocked off by Texas last week, out of it. Arkansas knocked off by Texas A&M 2 weeks ago, out of it. Winner tonight, it is the Cotton Bowl. But more than that, the bragging rights, not only for this year, but for years to come in the state of Texas. Happy Thanksgiving to you all. I am Jim Simpson, the man to my left, having enjoyed turkey with us all this afternoon. We're not going to see a turkey tonight, I guarantee you. But I also know you, Paul McGuire, whenever you talk about a natural rivalry such as this, you take those statistics and all of those statements and tear them up and throw them over your left shoulder.
Jim, you forget about everything that's happened. You forget about the Cotton Bowl because once this game starts, they're not thinking about that anymore. You talk about recruiting, the things that are going to happen to these two teams, Texas A&M, it's been a long time, man, since they've been thinking about Cotton Bowl. But when you have all the stats, I don't care what the quarterbacks have done, I don't care about all the great backs and how good the defense is and the offense is, when these two teams kick off, throw it all out the door and grab your socks.
This is the first time since 1943 that these two teams have met head-on with the Cotton Bowl, with the conference title at stake. And it would be, if the Aggies win, the first time since 1977 since they have gone. We'll come back in just a moment with a look at both Texas and Texas A&M. But right now you're looking at Bevo, hook 'em horns. That's what they're saying from up Austin way and around the state of Texas and across this world. And on the other side, of course, it's Gig 'em. But for Texas, they won 17 conference championships, 31 bowl games, 18 Cotton Bowls. They're hoping for 19th and 2 national titles. Tradition Texas has. And more about the Longhorns when we come back to Kyle Field.